Hello again, wise acolytes of the galaxy, and welcome back to the archives. During the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker was well renowned amongst the Jedi Order and the Greater Republic as somewhat of a hero of the war. On the battlefield, Anakin may have been headstrong and pretty atypical in his approach, but it was this, alongside his incredible skills as a Jedi, that always seemed to win the day. Anakin was a fierce duelist in battle, and led the 501st on the front lines with his blue lightsaber high in the air. As old Ben Kenobi would put it, he was the best star pilot in the galaxy and a very cunning warrior. That warrior reputation definitely preceded him, as Anakin sure enough made full use of his status as a Jedi Guardian. If situations got tense, Anakin was the first to ignite his lightsaber and go out in a blaze of glory and blaster fire. But it was this very thing which actually made the Jedi Masters on the High Council roll their eyes at Anakin, and even Sidious was disapproving, yet even disappointed with how Anakin and Vader used their lightsaber. So why is this? Come along with us today, my friends, as we open up another holocron and discover why both the Jedi Council and Darth Sidious were so disappointed with Anakin's lightsaber style. Since his very early years as a youngling, Anakin went straight to learning about the ways of the lightsaber, becoming fascinated with it. He was relatively lazy when it actually came to his Jedi studies, as he had grown to believe that he was just better than his other colleague, and perhaps even beyond the studies entirely. The fact about this is, though, he actually was. Despite having joined at a much older age, Anakin's potential as the Chosen One took over, and he would indeed excel in all of his classes, progressing far beyond his classmates in just about every single regard. His focus, though, stayed on that of the lightsaber and the more physical applications of the Force as well as Jedi life. Anakin liked to show off to people and would regularly defeat the Darth Maul training bot to hone his skills. As he grew older and entered the days of the Clone Wars, that skill would only continue to improve. Anakin's first taste of real blade-to-blade combat was against the infamous Count Dooku. Truly, he was given a trial by fire. Most of his lightsaber duel experience was against other Jedi and his own master in training sessions, but he wasn't in training here. On Geonosis, Anakin was in a life-or-death match against one of the finest duelists the galaxy had to offer, perhaps one of the finest ever. He was facing down against a fully fledged Sith Lord, a Sith Lord that had just downed his master in 30 seconds. Anakin actually lasted much longer, despite being a Padawan, and even gave Dooku quite a run. You'll notice that after Anakin had been dismembered, Dooku actually looked fatigued right before Yoda appeared. The sheer raw power of the fledgling Chosen One was enough to put this Sith Lord on the back foot, at least momentarily. This, though, would only be a taste of things to come. Anakin's skill would continue to sharpen throughout the Clone Wars as he fought beings such as Asajj Ventress and Savage Opress. This, of course, not even mentioning all the countless victories won in the Clone Wars itself due to Anakin's skill and ingenuity. Ahsoka would constantly acclaim his abilities, and Kanan Jarrus even commented that he considered Anakin Skywalker to be the finest warrior that the Jedi Order had to offer, maybe except for Yoda and Mace Windu. Anakin Skywalker's primary form was Form 5 Djem So, and its variant Xi'an. Djem So was meant for saber-to-saber combat and was an overwhelmingly oppressive form. It was high energy, emphasizing the physical strength and power of its user, and demanding constant aggression until the target had been neutralized. The name of the game with Djem So was momentum. Anytime a Form 5 user gained momentum in combat, it was tough to break this momentum. Most of the form's defense lied in its counterattacks and quick parries. The variant Xi'an was geared more towards defense, and was aimed at redirecting blaster fire. However, what made Anakin's lightsaber skill so unique was the fact that he actually employed the footwork and movements of Form 4 Ataru. One of Djem So's weaknesses is its lack of mobility, as the users are typically locked in a more linear range of movement. However, by employing the footwork, acrobatics, and body movements of Form 4 Ataru, Anakin was able to use his youth and power in the Force to his advantage, in order to keep his enemies on their toes and single-handedly ambush them. Even after he became Darth Vader and had his movement hampered, he still studied the ways of Makashi, and rather than employing acrobatics, he just tightened up his blade work and made sure that every stroke of his lightsaber was measured, precise, and above all, powerful. This made for an absolutely deadly lightsaber style that decimated every Jedi Vader ever came against. But now though, I know what you've been thinking. How can the High Council and Darth Sidious be disappointed with this absolute specimen of Anakin and Vader? Well, here is the reason. with Anakin Skywalker being the chosen one of prophecy. It was highly disappointing that they wouldn't get to see him actually exercise his power and knowledge in the Force. Let's explain a little farther. Since Anakin always seemed to remain in the physical aspects of being a Jedi, the High Council could always sense that power being used in his physicality alone, and not the deeper mysteries and other aspects that the Chosen One was meant to fulfill. Both they and Sidious got to taste his real strength when he demonstrated it in lightsaber combat. However, they were far more invested in knowing what he could do if he actually dedicated himself to learning the infinite mysteries of the Force, discovering secrets that none of them could. Sidious especially wanted to push Vader more towards a sorcerer lifestyle. He was already angry that he missed out since Vader's potential was cut short to being 80% of Palpatine, when Anakin at his full potential may have easily doubled him. This could explain why Sidious kept trying to get his apprentice to cease his hunt of the Jedi. Sidious grew tired and even bored with Vader's insistence on combat, his fascination with it even. He craved to see what the Chosen One was capable of in the realms of the Force. Remember, this was the Chosen One prophecy, the one that was destined to come and bring balance to the Force. According to legend, this would be a being that could wield the Force on a scale never before seen by any other. Even the father of Martynas was urging Anakin to give up his Jedi lifestyle, to put down his lightsaber, and use the Force to keep balance, but Anakin refused. He was hard-headed and liked the style of the blade. He enjoyed being able to go out into the galaxy and take a more hands-on approach to keeping the peace. He didn't believe that he even really needed to delve into the mysteries of the Force as a Jedi. Even as Darth Vader, he only cared about the deep secrets if there was a chance that it could either free him from his suit or bring back Padme. Other than that, if it was not combat-oriented, Vader could care less about the deeper mysteries. The prophecy of the Chosen One emphasized their ability to control the Force itself. What disappointed both Sidious as well as the Jedi Council so deeply was that Anakin Skywalker was not fascinated with the Force and discovering new Force abilities. He was curious about what the Force could grant him physically, and while yes, this made him an incredibly dangerous and gifted lightsaber duelist, perhaps one of the greatest Jedi lightsaber duelists ever, it was still a shadow of what he could have achieved through the gifts of the Force. Picture the raw potential of Anakin Skywalker, but placed within the mind of someone like Revan, someone fascinated with the mysteries of the Force that Anakin could care less about. Just how powerful could that individual have become? And so, my friends, this was truly why both the Jedi Council and Darth Sidious were so incredibly disappointed in Anakin's use of the blade. I know that we may have deceived you, but I do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you like it when we do perspective breakdowns like this, be sure to comment down below what sort of other things you would like to see next. Until then, my friends and acolytes, may the Force be with you, and I hope to see you soon.